welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob continuing, or rather should I say finishing off the narration for the Break the Ice side story in Arknights. And man is this a finish. Boy. Oh boy. Okay. I know I haven't done this for the other narrations for side stories and stuff, but I'll try and squeeze out some thoughts at the end of this story. like likes, dislikes, or stuff like that, but we'll see if by the end of this recording I'll be able to either talk or formulate thoughts. But yeah, anyway, let's not stall here and let's begin with the story, starting on stage 7, which is appropriately named Breaking the Ice. So, let's begin. What's the matter? The Chigeti aren't letting us leave. He said Enciodas instructed them to make sure we stay here, supposedly for our own safety. See? This is exactly as I said. He's trying to lock us in here. The Great Elder is unconscious, the Saintess is yet to be coronated, and he insists the other two clans are traitors. The way I see it, he is definitely up to no good. Shh. Talk about this is not going to do us any good. The Great Elder has always been in charge of the course of affairs, and now that this has come to pass, what are we supposed to do? This is all Kjerag under's will.
It's difficult to say whether this is what Kjerag wanted, but I'm sure it will pain her heart to see you so dejected.
Great Saintess. We were simply worried.
Is there something to worry about?
The Great Elder's condition and the situation surrounding the clans.
I just talked to the doctor. The Great Elder's outlook is not optimistic, but I'm sure Kjerag will have mercy on him, given his leadership in the Vine Bear Court for so many years. Have faith, the Great Elder will get better. In the interim, I will take charge of all of the court's decisions, big and small.
Well...
The Saintess was supposed to take charge of Kjerag at the coronation, and the Great Elder has wanted to pass the baton to the Saintess for some time now. Given the extraordinary circumstances, what's stopping you? Or do you elders have a better idea?
You're just a headmaid. Enough. Headmaid Kjar has the right of it. We've always had faith in the Saintess's abilities, and she's willing to step forward to calm the masses. There is no better arrangement.
You need not worry, dear elders. Considering what had happened at the ceremony, Enciodas indeed has a reason to do as he did. And even if Enciodas harbored ill intentions, as long as I'm here, the Vine Bear Court will be safe.
Before, the Saintess's presence on the Holy Hunt's grounds, although brilliant, was only eye-catching. But now the Saintess radiates a certain aura that makes her impossible to defy. The elders look at each other before lowering their heads to her. As you wish, Saintess.
Leave us, please. Anya, you were incredible. Really, I thought you'd be disappointed after you came back from the ceremony. Looks like I was worrying too much. I'm disappointed, alright. But the last time I was disappointed, I couldn't say anything. Back then I had no way to fight for myself. This time, even though I'm disappointed, I know that I have the power to make a change, no matter how little. So I don't want to be left disappointed this time. I need to do something to stave off my disappointment. Anya, you've grown up. I wish I could have stayed a child forever. Thinking about these things all day is just too much effort. But you're right, I've grown up.
Faith. Great Elder, you're awake. Quiet down. Quieting. The ceremony. What happened of it? I remember interrogating the Browntail subjects, but no more. You were poisoned by Sir Arctos, then Gnosis' appearance made things a little more complicated. In the end, Sir Arctos and Matriarch Radados just joined hands to take on Sir Enciotis, only for him to overwhelm them. That's not what I wanted to hear. What about the coronation ceremony? The Saintes, the transfer of power? The ceremony was cancelled. Sir Enciotis announced that it will resume once the Pale Roses and the Browntails are dealt with. Enciotis. Where's the Saintes? She's in her room right now. Little one, how does it feel to sit at a Tree-Clan Council meeting for the first time?
Great Elder, I never imagined that the Tree-Clan Council's meetings would be so boring.
The clan leaders only talked about the things that concern their families. Every time they talked about which family will put in more effort in the annual events, they aren't interested at all. They don't care about Kjerag. Oh, wait, that was... okay. Oh, a smart one. I was right about you.
Great Elder, did you show me this on purpose?
That's right.
Why?
Because you will one day become the Great Elder.
Then
you'll understand just what this so-called faith stands for. How long has it been since you came to the Vine Bear Court? 25 years, Great Elder. In those 25 years, how do you think the Vine Bear Court and Kjerag have changed? Aside from all that the Silver Ash has brought us, I do not think there has been any significant change. These lands have not changed for a millennium. The future ought to see no change either. Help me up. But, Great Elder, your health. I know my health better than anybody else. I don't have much time left. But, have this Saintess proceed to the Great Hall. Tell her I must speak to her about something. Doctor, this is the second time you've saved my rear. I've had a problem with Enciotis ever since he came back to Kjerag and established the Carlin trade of his. I'm sure you saw it for yourself when you entered Kjerag, this trade port. I can't begin to make heads or tails of it. I've used the things he brought in. They're handy. My men are using them too. I know that. The youths working for me think I don't know what they say about him. Well, I do. But he can't keep things going like this. He's going to drive Kjerag further and further into this fire pit. Kjerag is watching from above. If we go down that path, Kjerag will be punished. That's why I've always been the first one to stand up against him, and this is what that got me. The Pale Horses are no fans of trickery. And I had valets by my side, but now... Can I trust you? Dr. Radados is here.
Arctos, I thought a hot-headed punk like you would have let your forces do that of Enciotis is right about now.
If it wasn't for the doctor stopping me, that's what I would be doing right now.
You're the doctor from Rhode Island. You saved my life. Normally I should be rewarding you somehow. But if what you want is the House of Browntail, then I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Adjust her collar for her.
Well, whatever. If Arctos is here, I don't even have the guess at what it is that you want. I'll be honest with you. Before your guy here found me, I was seriously thinking about surrendering to Ensiotis. Are you sure I can help you?
If Arctos is willing to surrender too, then I guess I don't need your help. The Pale Roaches will never surrender.
So, what do you people want?
First off, you've already lost.
You don't have to spell it out to me like that. The people are on Ensiotis' side. When the ceremony ended, he even proclaimed that the crimes are mine and Arctos' alone and didn't do a thing to our territory. He's decided Kjerag is already his. And that's actually how things are.
Doctor, you're a smart one. What else can we do? The best way we have to get ourselves out of this hole is to save the Saintess.
You're right that only the Saintess can set things right. And Ensiotis has taken control of the Vinebear Court so that the Saintess can't say anything. Now there's the problem. He definitely sees you coming. Actually, he probably has all those men guarding that place so that you can walk right into the trap.
We'll need some preparations. They'll help the Saintess. There's a reason that Ensiotis isn't mounting an attack on the other enemies. First, he doesn't think it's necessary. Second, he's worried that the Doctor will help the Pale Roach.
The Doctor? If the Doctor's actually helping Arctos, things are probably going to get out of hand.
This Doctor isn't taking charge of Arctos' army to fight us, though. From what you have told me, this Doctor wants to stop Arctos from being the reckless man he is and launching an all-out war. Considering that, it's not likely there will be any direct confrontation that leads to bloodshed. I don't exactly believe in this possibility, however. The way I see it, it's not out of the question that this Doctor is trying to take control of the Pale Roaches and the Brown Tails, seeking to become Kjerag's new overlord. The Doctor is not that kind of person.
Right, the Doctor certainly could do it, though.
I must say, I'm a little flabbergasted by the appraisal that you two and Ensiotis have of this person. I can only hope you are right in that judgment. In any case, however things end up, it's very likely that they are aiming for Mount Carlan, which is under our control, of course. They'll need the Saintess to turn the tide of public opinion. And if they succeed in getting the Saintess out of Mount Carlan, then all that Ensiotis has done will be for naught. Naturally, the Doctor knows that. That's why we will see the Doctor here. It's ironic. In their eyes, we Silver Ashes are taking our own family here as hostage. They aren't wrong. Anya Silver Ash is indeed our hostage right now. If you would rather I use a different turn of phrase, the Saintess has become our most important bargaining chip. That doesn't change anything, however.
Gnosis, could you please stop provoking Matterhorn?
I'm helping you to face reality. Or are you trying to tell me that you two didn't know that Ensiotis has his eyes on more than just the transfer of powers? It was never his plan to let Faith govern the state. That's not to say anything negative about Anya Silver Ash. I'm not interested in her at all. Naturally, I don't have any opinion about her. But she became the Saintess, and she's done very well. In that case, she will no doubt be an obstacle to Ensiotis. That's all, and now things have come to this. We cannot permit anyone else on this stage to do any better than the head of the Silver Ash family. I know that. Of course I know that. This isn't a game. There are no do-overs. Let's not give ourselves any unnecessary trouble. Monk, you're in charge of surveillance.
On it.
Good. This plan is perfect.
You're sure about that?
Of course.
On the surface, we're sending our forces to raise the palace to the ground, making it look like we're there to save Yucatan and attract their attention that way to confuse them about your real plans. You want the main force to attack them from the front. That's to let Arctos' forces get near Mount Carlan. You guys will also be there in the mountains to help them along. Doesn't sound like the safest plan there is, but it seems feasible. What about Degenbrecher? Even if you can deal with Ensiodus' Chigeti performers, if you don't have a way to take care of that actual monster, you'll never be able to get to him.
Sharp? This is part of my job too.
Yes. You make that sound so simple, but are you sure about this?
I wouldn't say sure, but I can probably keep her busy for some 10 minutes.
You're a monster yourself, huh? So, Doctor of Rhode Island, how are you so sure I'll help you?
I'm not forcing you.
You know, you kind of remind me of Ensiodus. You told me all about your plan, and then you say you don't absolutely need me. Whatever. I'll go in your place. Scarious, this isn't a game. Why don't you take a look in the mirror before you say that crap right at us? You're exhausted, you look pale as a ghost. Hell, you look completely out of it. How am I supposed to relax when I have someone like you there to save my husband? Huh. I don't know what you and Ensiodus talked about in that room, but I'm not going to watch you hand the Browntail family over to him. Why are you staring at me like that? You want to fight? You might just be right. Fine, Doctor of Rhode Island. Skirius will help you with your plan in my place. Though, to tell you the truth, I'm not holding on out hope that we can get anything back from Ensiodus. All I can say is, good luck.
Alright, and now for the part after the stage.
Why can I go out, Uncle?
By the President's orders, you are not to go running around until he returns.
So, when's he coming back?
The President is currently making his way to Carlan and back in 2 days' time.
Look, I just want to catch a breath of fresh air, okay?
If you'll stay around the estate, I'll send someone to follow you. Encia, this is for your own good. The situation in Kjerag is precarious right now.
Do you really need to do all of this, Ensiodus? Doctor, what should I do? Aurora? Shh, keep it down. It was really hard for me to sneak in with all the guards. Weren't you and Sharp going to stay with the doctor? Yes, I'm here because the doctor wanted me to tell you something.
You're absolutely sure?
Yes, Arctos has assembled a large number of soldiers in his territory, but he's not the one leading them. The doctor is.
Where's Arktos?
I'm not sure. From eyewitness accounts, he disappeared after formally handing leadership of his forces to the doctor.
Is that doctor squad the bait? No, it can't be that simple. How about their numbers?
The Pale Roach clansmen who respond to Arctos' call were mostly what you expected. Based on our estimates, Arctos shouldn't have enough men to assemble another squad.
But there's no chance he's sitting in the back. There's a high possibility of there being another team.
The Pale Roach clan's warriors are still at operating in the mountains. It's not beyond the realm of possibility.
They can't leave the squad alone though, regardless of whether it's a decoy or the main force. Let Wise pass on the orders and have the troops gather at the base of the mountain, awaiting further instructions. Then dispatch someone to keep track of the army. Your primary responsibility is to find Arktos.
On it. doctor wants me to climb up the mountain and sneak into the Vine Bear Court to find my sister? Correct. Because conflict between the Pale Roaches and Silver Ash clans is almost unavoidable now. But if there is one person who can put a stop to all of this, it's your sister, the Saintess, Anya Silver Ash. But... The doctor wanted to stick to Rhode Island's policy of non-intervention and stand by. But since restoring the Saintesses to power was just a ploy by Mr. Ensiodas, the doctor believes he doesn't care much for Kjerag's faith. And once the Silver Ashes clan's forces beat down the Pale Roaches clans, the only thing stopping him from taking all of Kjerag is the Vine Bear Court. In other words, the object of faith for all of the people of Kjerag, the Saintess. The doctor doesn't actually need you to convince the Saintess to do anything. The basic idea is there might be a way to heal the relationship between your brother and sister. There might also be some guilt in there from not being able to help since coming to Kjerag. I'd never blame the doctor for that. I just wanted to apologize, but to the doctor and to everyone else who came with me. This was supposed to be a nice vacation, but my brother went and screwed everything up. It's not your fault, Clifford. Anyway, the doctor's being dragged into Ensiodas' business and can't stand on the sidelines anymore. And anyway, you're Ensiodas' sister. Nothing can change that. So the doctors decided to make a move. And it's to have you go up the mountain and become a kind of insurance besides the Saintess. The doctor wants me to stop my brother's plans when the time comes. Or take the Saintess and run when the time comes.
Encia subconsciously rubs the coil of rope in her hand. Her sister braided it for her when she was a child.
I'll go. This is a covert operation. I'll be there with the other operators to help. No. I have a better idea. Just get me to the base of Mount Carlan. I'll handle the rest myself.
Doctor, why are you marching us at such a slow pace? Well, so as to give those prying eyes their fill.
Gulo, don't tell me you still haven't figured out what we're doing.
Aren't we drawing the attention of the Silver Ash clan? I think we're going at it a bit too slow for that.
I see, you're eager to just rush in and fight the Silver Ashes.
Sure am. Last time, Valais handed me my ass, so I've got a chip on my shoulder. Doctor, we've confirmed the location of Yucatan, who was taken away during the ceremony. As you suspected, I see the typo. I read it wrong the first time as well. As you suspected, he was not taken to the Silver Ash clan's territory, but locked up at the base of the mountain. Good work. Doctor, you really are something else. You managed to find all Yucatan that quickly.
Such simple intelligence gathering is a child's play for a browntail. Anyway, we found Yucatan, so it's time for me and this idiot here to get moving, right?
Right.
What's with that silent treatment?
What were you talking to me? I don't remember my folks ever calling me idiot.
General Gulo. You happy now? I'm asking you, do you know what you're supposed to be doing?
Of course. Head to the nearest station, cause some chaos, and give you a chance to rescue your man.
Good. But a word of warning from the doctor. Don't actually kill anyone.
The station's full of civilians. I swear on my name not to lay a finger on them. But, Doctor, if the Silver Ashes show up, all I can say is, I'll try to hold back.
Clifford, did you say you were looking for your mountaineering equipment? Yep. Don't tell me you're going to climb Mount Carlan. From what you told me, there should be a ton of people in Carlan. If we're talking about heading up the face of the mountain, even the squad leader would have some difficulty sneaking in. But that's not nothing I can't handle. As long as you can get me to the foot of the mountain, I can handle the rest. But the others and I won't be able to protect you. No biggie, no biggie. I've got plenty of training at Rhode Island, so I'm more than capable of handling myself in an ordinary fight. But...
Anya, where are you going?
Uncle Chester, I want to go climbing.
Which mountain are we talking here?
Mount Carlin.
That place is going to turn into a battlefield. You'll get hurt if you go. Why do you want to go there?
Uncle Chester, ever since I fell in love with mountaineering, I've always wanted to summit Mount Carlin with my own two hands. I've only wanted it even more ever since my sister let us left and became the Saintess. One day I would reach the peak and bring my sister home. And now my chance has finally come.
You won't be able to do that, Anya.
Even if I can bring my sister back home, I need to be with her at a time like this. She must be very confused after everything our brother's done. If I can't stop him, then I at least want to be there for her.
Olafur, your youngest daughter has gotten pretty big too. Young lady, I'm sorry, but by the master's orders, you are not allowed to leave the estate. It's for your own safety. Stand down.
Huh? Uncle Chester?
Sir, you're directly contradicting the master's orders. I'll accept all responsibility for what happens here. But even if you'll go as far as to vouch for her, how can it be more important than her safety? A Silver Ash never takes unnecessary risks. This time, let's trust her. Fine. Go, prepare a burden beast for the young lady and our guest from Rhode Island. Understood.
Thank you, Uncle Chester. Thank you very much, sir. I always thought you...
No need to thank me. Now go. Time is of the essence.
Okay.
Anya? Be careful out there.
Will do.
Olafur, ever since you and Elizabeth passed on, I've always regretted that I stood against you and the reforms you tried to bring to our land. I should have stood with you. So when your son decided to take up your ideals, I chose to support him wholeheartedly. Ensiotis has done exceptionally well. As the Saintess, Anya has won the adoration of the people of Kjerag. Though Anya contracted a ripophy, her condition is under control, and she is as happy-go-lucky as always. But it suddenly just occurred to me. How long has it been since I saw these three kids getting along, smiling and laughing as siblings should?
Great Elder, you still need to rest.
According to the records, this great hall was built by the people of all three clans following the establishment of the Three Clan Council. The existence and cooperation of the three clans far predates the modern Three Clan system. Then after thousands of years passed, the system was tweaked and sanded down, until it became what we see today. And this chair may as well have been here for thousands of years. Over a dozen great elders sat on this seat, spending their lives here.
Just as a dozen saintesses found their final resting spot atop this mountain.
From the very beginning, the Saintess was a fabrication of the Vinebear Court to facilitate the spread of the faith.
Now that you've chosen to tell me these things I've known for a long time, are you meaning to say that our faith is false?
You seem to be a lot more direct as well. But I mean the opposite, Anya. Sorry, Saintess. Saintess. Do you know my original name?
No.
I'm afraid no one in the present wine court remembers either. Even I myself have forgotten. Each Great Elder, after taking up their mantle of the previous one, is known only as the Great Elder. One day the people will also forget your name and know you only as Saintess. Then the Great Elder and Saintess come to realize what people believe in is not Kjerag. People can believe in anything as long as there's a story, a few neat coincidences. They will believe in you, in me, in Ensiotis, in the mountain, in the water, even in a single leaf. If people can believe in anything, then what is faith? The Great Elders finally came to an answer. What people believe is faith itself. People choose to vest power to the object of their faith. People attribute the things that they shun to their faith. People unconditionally trust the way of life to which their faith guides them. So, what is faith? Faith is laziness, escapism. Faith is stability. Faith is stagnation.
Let's get you to bed, Great Elder.
No, Saintess. Saintess. The Great Elder desperately clutches at Anya's wrist. His grasp is so tight that it leaves a red mark on her skin, as if he spent all his remaining strength on it. His eyes are fixed on the Saintess before him, but he seems to be looking at someone else. Faith is ugly, but even so, it is indestructible. In the thousands of years of Kjerag's history, the cracks between the three major clans have gradually widened, yet no one can deny faith. Faith is the foundation of Kjerag. Faith unites the people of Kjerag. People seek out faith. People rely on faith. Kjerag has existed like this for thousands of years. The people crave stability. The people crave stagnation. Ensiotis thinks he has won, but he hasn't. He cannot win. How could he possibly defeat the faith that has coalesced in Kjerag for millennia? This old man is about to die, but you are still young. You are the Saintess of this Winebear Court, and you will become the Great Elder of this Winebear Court. Go forth and instruct him, overcome him, make him understand that in the face of faith itself, his actions are insignificant beneath even mention. Anya remains silent for a while, but forces herself free of the Great Elder's grip. She feels pity for the old man before her, but she feels a greater determination.
I disagree, Great Elder. You say that faith equals stagnation and that people depend on faith because they demand stability. But that's not how I see things. It is true that once people accept a faith, they come to rely on it. Laziness, escapism, decadence. I cannot argue those. But this does not mean that faith itself is stagnation. Faith is just faith, nothing more. It has no attributes by itself, and its substance comes from what is put into it. If the faith progresses, then the faith will progress with it. If the faith stagnates, then the faithful will stagnate with it. The reason why you think the people of Kjerag crave stagnation is precisely because Kjeragander's faith has been stagnant for thousands of years in the hands of the Winebear Court. We've drawn up this land as a prison to preserve the rules of some ancient agreement, surviving in those snow-capped mountains for millennia without exploring or even making contact with the outside world. And you mean to tell me this agreement has anything to do with our fate? It is not just the arrogance of the Winebear Court.
Arrogance? No. This is not how things were meant to be.
Nothing is inherently meant to be. If it seems that way, it's only because it's never been changed. It's time to change, Great Elder.
No, Saintess, you cannot change anything. Fate is the fundamental reason why Kjerag is Kjerag.
I will go and face Ensiotis, but not in the way you want. I don't know if I'll succeed, but since the Saintess has always been used by the Vinebear Court as a tool to guide the people's faith, I shall put this tool to good use. I am the Saintess, but I am not the Saintess of the Vinebear Court. I am the Saintess of Kjerag. I will use my own methods to guide the people to freedom. The freedom to progress, to explore, to take risks. And as for you, Great Elder, it is time to rest. Attendants, come help the Great Elder away.
Anya stands up and walks to the door of the Great Hall, her eyes fixed forward. Behind her, the Great Elder occupies his same seat, watching her back grow smaller in the distance. He stretches out his hand as to grasp something, but finally, powerlessly, it drops. He grasps nothing at all. He remains there evermore, motionless, just like the snow of Kjerag blanketing his dreams. Oh boy. Alright. Time for the story around stage 8, titled Check. Let's begin with the before story.
Sir, I've searched the woodlands around the perimeter of the Pale Roach clan and found no signs of mobilization.
Keep looking.
Yes, sir. Gnosis, we've got an issue. Gulo split from the Doctor's force and led a team around Mount Carlan, breaking through the pass and occupying the station there.
What?
Right now, Gulo is driving everyone out of the station and another team is heading for Klin. That's where Yucatan is being held. Is this a rescue operation?
Impossible. They're being far too inefficient for that. There must be another motive. Monk, based on the route you saw them taking, where do you think the Doctor is headed?
They chose a route that could lead either to Mount Carlan or to the pass. Oh, could the Doctor instead intend to bypass Mount Carlan to directly attack our territory?
I should have warned you about this possibility. No, I was caught off guard myself. I should have stationed more troops at the pass.
The Doctor...
But Arctos still hasn't shown himself, and we cannot say for sure what the objective is. I'll have valets head to the station to deal with Gulo, then Vice will go to Klin. Have a portion of the troops stationed at the base of the mountain go defend the pass and prevent the Doctor's forces from breaking through to our territory.
Understood.
General, we've already taken control of the station. Why are we still waiting here? The Doctor told us to avoid hurting anyone, but I didn't hear anything about not smashing the place up. This station is a symbol of Silverrush treachery. Calm down. We'll see when the next train arrives. Ugh. When's the thing supposed to arrive anyway? Let me see the note the Doctor left me. Okay, that sounds about right. Huh? What's going on here? The station now belongs to Gulo of the Pale Roach clan. Get out of here if you value your life. But why is the Pale Roach clan here? And it's none other than that terrible Gulo. Did the Pale Roach declare war? I'm too young to die. Run! That's right. Run faster.
General Gulo, thanks for bringing me along.
I wouldn't want nothing to do with the Silverrush's daughter, if not for the fact that the Doctor told me you were helping. You really aren't in the cahoots with your brothers, that brother of yours.
I'm here to stop him.
I don't trust you, but I do trust the Doctor. The one called Sharp told me to trust in the victory that the Doctor would bring. Alright, didn't you say you had to make your way up the mountain? Off with you. After you go, I'll have to halt the railroad. To do, what again? Oh, right. Gotta stop things from running, so that Silver Ash reinforcements don't show up too quickly.
Well, thanks anyway, General Gulo.
These people make no sense at all to me. Whatever, I have my own things to do anyway.
That musclehead might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but he certainly does know how to fight. He should be fine holding down the station. Next up is... Damn it, my ass.
Madam, why don't you get off the burden beast and rest for a bit? The rest of us can handle things.
I don't have the luxury for that right now. Our task is much more difficult than Gulo's. In addition to rescuing Yucatan, we also have to take as much of Clint as we can. Until the doctor wins over the other end, we have to draw the Silver Ash's attention.
Madam, can we really hold out against those numbers with the forces we have here? Are you sure the doctor isn't just using us as fodder? That's right. The matriarch...
Shut it. Listen, Ratatos is sick and tired of carrying this clan on her back, so she's trusting this to me. We're at a do-or-die moment for the House of Browntail. If we succeed, the Browntail clan might just have a future. If we fail, we're all changing our name to Silver Ash. I don't care what Enciotis is trying to do, or what he wants Kjerag to be, but as Browntails, we'll never be anyone's father. If you're that eager to get a new name, then you can leave now, but if being a Browntail means anything to you, then come with me.
I've never seen Skirius so charismatic before. I didn't know Skirius had such a talent for speeches. I think she really is speaking her mind. You've just never been given a chance to before.
What are you mumbling about over there?
Even though I heard that the matriarch herself was planning on surrendering, if Skirius is willing to give up, then it would be really shameful for us to raise the white flag.
That's right, and to be honest, I find it hard to believe that the matriarch would do something like that. You're still not done. If you don't like it here, then beat it.
We fight for the House of Browntail.
That's more like it. Alright, I'll handle the rest. Are you serious about this? Don't worry, I'm a bona fide pro. You better not die on us. I'll be waiting for you for the good news. As much as I've trained, it's been a long time since I've done any real mountaineering. Not since I came to Rhode Island for treatment. This sure is getting my blood pumping. Wait for me, sis. I'm coming for you.
Anya remembers how, when she was a child, she always loved bringing her sister along for her climbs. Though she was physically fit, she'd always given up halfway through. Her favorite thing to do was curl up on the sofa by the fire, knitting something for herself or her brother, or just napping. My sister probably doesn't like the mountains. That's what Anya thought. But in the end, after becoming the saintess, she was bound atop the mountain. Anya always had a dream that one day she would save her sister from the mountain. General, this railway should be useless now, right? No clue, but it probably isn't gonna work anymore. Like, who gives a shit? The other job the doctor gave us was to start some chaos in Silver Ash territory. The bigger the better. Since we've already messed this place up pretty good, let's go somewhere else. Huh? You sure took your sweet time, Valais.
Gulo, what exactly is the doctor after?
The sentimental side of me actually wants to tell you. But honestly, I got no clue what the doctor is trying to do either. What I do know is I'm here to make enough trouble to give Enciotis a tough time.
Gulo, I'd prefer not to be humiliating.
Sorry, what now?
Kulo, I'd prefer not to humiliate you. Or any of the excellent warriors of the Pale Roach clan. So lay down your arms, you have no chance of winning.
Well, Ace, I know you've got some blood, and not good at confronting people. I also know that there is nothing I can do to bring back what you've lost. But I'm happy to rumble with you, let you blow off some steam.
This should be it for the first checkpoint. Ah, if I remember right, the trail was part of the trial to become a saintess.
Anya remembers the night before the selection of the saintess. Her sister had some kind of fight with her brother. That night, she sat alone on the sofa in the living room until the sun came up. She still remembered telling her sister that if not for the fact that she was too young, she'd rejoin the saintess selection process herself. Her sister smacked her upside the head. Her sister was quite strong, but never did she expect that this would be the last time her sister would smack her around. Sir, it's starting to snow. A good opportunity. Kjerag smiles upon us by the looks of things. Though it took a lot of extra time to make our way to the Holy Hunt, it was well worth it. How's the situation at the foot of the mountain? It seems like the doctor was able to divert the attention. Their forces stationed there were far fewer than we expected. Good. Very good. The doctor is quite capable. Still, we can't afford to bring shame to the Pale Roach name. Warriors, now that our time is nigh, we need no longer conceal ourselves. Forget the silver ashes. Follow me. We'll rush up the mountain and rescue the saintess. Yes, sir.
Why did it have to start snowing now? Old Kjerag really has a dry sense of humor. Or maybe this is a test for me as the sister of the saintess. Well, whatever. A bit of wind and snow can't hold me back. You can do this, Anya. You weren't just talking big in front of Aurora. You've got this.
It was hard to send letters back to Kjerag from Rhode Island. Usually, she would only get the opportunity when couriers showed up. Each time he visited, she always felt conflicted. Fortunately, courier would bring a letter from her sister. Unfortunately, courier and Motherhorn would always treat her like a kid, as if she couldn't see the sadness on their faces. She's also a child of the Silver Ash family. She read the books left behind by her parents and knew of the vision they had for Kjerag. She also got good grades in Hypatia's class. Of course she knew. What she did not know is that things have to turn out like this. If so, then why her family?
Sir, troops led by Arctos suddenly appeared at the foot of the mountain and broke through the defensive line.
Where'd they come from?
I'm afraid they entered the site of the Holy Hunt, so our men were unable to track them down.
And our forces stationed there couldn't stop them?
A portion of our forces were split off to defend the pass, plus it suddenly started snowing and morale was low to begin with, since their goal was to break through the line.
You've been outplayed, Gnosis. You made the right call. They care only about Mon Carlon and the Saintess. Everything else is secondary to that.
Did you come back only to mock me?
No, I wouldn't would have hesitated too in your position, just as you used your long-standing reputation with Carlin Trade to put on a play of half-truths. Our lack of familiarity with the Doctor worked to that one's advantage. No shortage of tricks up those mysterious sleeves. You may believe that the Doctor has designs on Kjerag, but from my perspective, I don't necessarily think that the Saintess is the only objective. Of course, the Doctor would not be sure that we would see things this way, and that was the wager. That you'd see the Doctor's actions around the pass as a move against Kjerag. The Doctor only required that you be sufficiently concerned about this possibility to send your troops to assuage those concerns. As such, the Doctor won the bet. And Siotis, your arrogance is truly loathsome. To wax admiringly about the actions of your enemy at a time like this. This is not a game, and we cannot afford to fail. I am not a fan of failure, Gnosis. I've already sent Degenbrecher to intercept Arctos. No, why do you think the Doctor chose a route that could lead either to Mount Carlin or the pass? You're saying that Arctos' forces are a ruse? From the very beginning, the Doctor's forces were both the bait and the main force. No wonder why they were moving so slowly. They were waiting. That's right, and if I'm not mistaken, this is when they will start making their move. If the Doctor is allowed to group with Arctos, then there will be trouble. Anya already knows. She knows her wish cannot come true. She cannot save her sister from the mountain. She also cannot mend the relationship between her two siblings. How could she have no idea as to what her brother seeks to accomplish? How could she not see that the rift between the two was only growing wider and wider? But what can she do? She doesn't like to cry, to vent her frustration to others, or to give up. All she can do is wedge the climbing pick in her hand into the rock above her head, and momentarily forget some of her troubles as she overlooks the scenery from atop the mountain. Drifting snow strikes her face, leaving traces that look like streaks of tears. Doctor, Master Arctos, we've also heard that the Silver Ashes are reinforcing the pass. So far, everything is proceeding as you have planned. I would like to point out that we see a doctor, and the doctor's name is with a question mark. So, he's here. She's here, so she's here. This is as far as you go, Rhode Islander. I remember your code name. You're Sharp. Lucky the Doctor brought some spare clothes. So that's what's going on. The entire army is both the genuine article and also a decoy. To be precise, this plan was specifically tailored to you. The Doctor had to plan for a contingency that included a woman strong enough to tear any plan to shreds. I am not Ensiotis. The admiration and respect of my enemies means nothing to me. The only thing I need of my enemies is for them to be strewn across the ground. Then you're in luck. You've got a whole army of opponents right in front of you. You're the only one in this crowd worthy of being my opponent. Degenbrecher shakes her head, sighing as if offering an immutable truth in her opinion. Sharp looks at the woman before him, and for some reason is reminded of his friend Stormeye, a fellow elite operator. Stormeye would have been very happy to face an opponent like her. But to him, whether mingling with the army here or dealing with Degenbrecher, all of this is just a part of the job. It's a shame, and enemies of respect doesn't do much for me either.
I dislike glory, but you don't seem to care about it at all.
Nothing personal, it's just business.
Just business?
Doing business requires professionalism. Only an amateur will bring professional feelings to the job. There's nothing worth bragging about when it comes to my combat abilities. It's just one of my tools to get the job done.
I like the way you think. I've always despised self-righteous challengers, pumped up on their skills of ideals. And without exception, I crushed them all underfoot.
I have heard of your feats as the Black Knight, a Lithanian who cannot use arts, rendering all dignity and pride worthless before her greatsword. Where is that greatsword, by the way?
Waving something like that around in this unsophisticated place would only scare the natives, so I decided to switch weapons. Not that it matters what I use, though.
Degenbrecher flourishes the blade in her hand, and in a blink of an eye, the wind and snow itself seem to cleave in two. As for me, I was promised victory. Sharp bends forward slightly, placing his hand on the hilt of the standard-issue knife at his waist. Degenbrecher notices a familiar scent from him. Back when she was in Casimir's, only a few people gave off the same scent. The scent of war. Alright, and let's continue with the story after the stage. Also, for photosensitive people, there's gonna be a couple of flashes here at the beginning of this scene, so if you're looking at the screen and you're sensitive to that, just a warning. Anyway,
do you come from the court of Sargon?
That was my previous employment. Never thought you'd be able to identify Sargon's swordsmanship.
I have little interest in arts, but when it comes to weaponry, I couldn't forget anything, even if I wanted to.
No wonder they call the Black Knight a natural-born warrior.
Natural-born? Do you know how long it took to go from a Lithanian who can't use arts to a natural-born warrior?
Click. The shield in Sharp's hands reveals a crack. Though there are several wounds in Degenbrecher's body, she seems not to notice them. Do you have no sense of pain?
If growing up, the only waking sensation you knew was pain, then you too would be used to it. How about you? How many times have you danced with death?
Everyone I knew who thought of counting didn't survive long in battle. I heard that the the Black Knight, despite being a 3-time champion, was exiled from Casimir's and hunted for refusing to work with the General Chamber of Commerce, eventually disappearing beyond Casimir's borders.
So,
once a symbol of refusal to bow to authority, now a conspirator's bodyguard taking part in the usurpation of a country. I don't pass any moral judgment, I just can't help but feel a bit let down.
I thought a Rhode Islander of all people would understand Ensiotis' ideas.
Understanding is one thing, acceptance is another. Actually, I think the doctor understands Ensiodas well.
I'm not going to defend Ensiodas or myself. It's too much of a hassle and also unnecessary. See for yourself what he wants with your own eyes if you survive, that is.
After a great many struggles, Encia finally reaches the edge of the cliff. She can scale it easily, but the sound of a nearby conversation makes her freeze. Everything's gone to shit down there, and everything's gone to shit up here too. Yeah, I can't believe the Great Elder went down like that, and now Arctos is rampaging his way up here. I was actually under the assumption that the worst was over, but now I have no idea what's going to happen next. I didn't really think there'd be peace anyway, but now that things have gone south, I feel a little guilty. Guilty? Why? Since we entered the Divine Bear Court, the lady, the Saintess, has clearly taken the reins. Since the General Great Elder collapsed, the entire Divine Bear Court has fallen in line with the Saintess. And below the mountains, Sir Ensiodas has taken complete control. When you put it that way, it all makes sense, huh? The Saintess controls the mountain, and Sir Ensiodas controls everything below. Borrowing your words, I have no idea what's going to happen next. We're just underlings anyway, there's no point thinking too hard about that. Yeah, you're right. Why even bother? Let's make 2 more rounds. Maybe we'll get called down the mountain by then.
Sis.
Hey, what's that? The granary's on fire. What? Someone go put it out, hurry!
Heh, piece of cake.
Madam, you certainly have a unique way of doing things, though that's to be expected.
The hell are you trying to say?
Nothing, it was a compliment.
I'll pay for the I'll pay for them to rebuild the granary after we're all done here, but for now, we're on an urgent business. Stop dragging your feet. This fire's got their attention, so go rescue Yucatan. The place is right ahead.
Yes, madam.
Kjerag. I'm here, Saintess. During the ceremony, I recall that when I happened to spot you in the crowd, there was a hooded figure next to you.
That's right.
I've heard that this person is a guest from Rhode Island invited by Ensiodas, a guest known as the Doctor. But now that individual stands with Arctos fighting against Ensiodas, nothing escapes you, Saintess. How did you come to know this person? By chance, when I was heading down the mountain to deliver your letter. I'll take your word for it then. Why did this question suddenly grip your thoughts? I would like to meet this person. Huh. Though I don't know exactly why, the Doctor stands in direct opposition to Ensiodas. I want to know exactly why. I no longer doubt what I must do, but I am afraid that I made up my mind too late. There are some things I must fight for. About that, you needn't worry yourself. Why not? Because the Doctor's emissary is right behind you. Huh? Sis! Encia, I suppose I've finally started hallucinating. Snap out of it, sis. You're not hallucinating. It's me, your sister Encia. What? Encia? Is that really you? It is. Here, come touch me if you don't believe it.
Anya wants to reach out with her shaking hands to feel Encia. She fears that the sister who suddenly appeared before her is an illusion. But before she has a chance to do so, Encia has already plunged into her arms. She knows right away, without a shadow of a doubt, that the woman embracing her is her dearest little sister.
It's you, Anya. It really is you. I've missed you so much. I've missed you too. Have you been well? What of your illness? What kind of place is this Rhode Island? You're so silly. You've already asked all of these things in your letters. I have to tell you.
Sharp takes a few steps back with a shallow breath. He has fought many opponents through his career, and has also learned from, or at least watched, many formidable fighters at Rhode Island. But he has to admit he has never faced anyone like Dagenbrecher before. Or rather, an opponent as pure and simple as Dagenbrecher. She has speed and strength, qualities that every warrior should possess. Dagenbrecher is nothing more, but clearly needs nothing more. Why would anyone need anything more than incredible speed and strength? Fortunately, Sharp became an elite operator because he also possesses these two things. You have a lot of trust in Eziodas.
What makes you say that?
Few people have the capacity to do this for money. And besides, you are not a person who can be won over with money.
What about you? You said this is just business, but what you've done goes well beyond duty.
I assure you, the work I do is the work I like.
I didn't like Casimir's. Too chaotic, and the people are too loud. I thought I wouldn't like Kjerag either. But Kjerag isn't too bad.
That's a fair reason. Having a nice place to retire is important. As if reaching a tacit agreement, the two sides take a few steps back. They both realize that their previous moves achieved nothing toward the goal of eliminating the opponent. They would have to tap into more of their power. Dagenbrecher casts her sword aside and pulls the sword breakers from her waist. Sharp likewise discards his shield and holds his knife with both hands. An evergreen tree branch buckles under the weight of the snow with a crackling sound. In the same instance, Sharp and Dagenbrecher both vanish from where they were just a second ago.
Honestly, what am I going to do with you? You actually managed to sneak past everyone and climbed all the way up from the foot of the mountain. It was the only way for me to see you. You were just saying a certain doctor sent you up here. To what end? The doctor told me I should stand by your side, protect you when you need it, or help you escape. When I need it? Yeah, like if our brother tries to do something bad to you. Okay, this is what I think. He has these ideas and I can't stop him. But if those ideas are putting you in danger, I'll put my life on the line to stop him.
Anya suddenly understands why the doctor sent her sister to her side. For protection, for a way out. These are the two reasons told to Anya. But the doctor also knows about her ideals, as well as the fact that being able to see her sister would be inherently meaningful. Have Anya protect her? Have Anya help her escape? No, quite the opposite. She is the one who should protect Anya. She is the one who should help Anya escape. She is the one who should be fighting.
Anya, I see you're still wearing the bracelet I made for you. Of course, and I'll keep wearing it. I'll find time to make a new one for you. Really? So, Anya. Yeah? Do you want to do a little favor for me? A favor? Come with me. It's awfully quiet outside, but there should still be 2 guards. The window, if I don't want them to see me through see me from this angle. I have to lead the guards away first. The patrol route. They pass through this area 5 times a day and should be coming around soon. No, I can't force open the lock, but if I can pick it, then there might still be a chance.
Silenciotis, this time I swear.
They're coming?
The conflict. The 3 clans seem inevitable, but... Brown-tailed clans burning. Sciottis.
Sciottis? Why did they mention Russ? Did something happen to her? Damn it, I'm still too far away. I can't hear clearly. No, she can handle herself. I have to find a way out of here first, then find Sciottis and the matriarch.
Halt! Who are you people? Stop them right now!
Huh? There's a commotion coming from the entrance. What happened? Yucatan, are you alright? Russ, what are you doing here? Huh? Are you dumb? I'm here for you, obviously. Everyone else is so worthless, I had to rescue you myself. But it's too dangerous. Russ, how many did you bring with you? You didn't have to come yourself, you know? I wouldn't want anything to happen to you. Yucatan? Say one more word and I'm going to beat the crap out of you. Shut up. Think about what you've done for me. I'll do just the same for you. And you better not forget it. Also, you're not allowed to abandon me ever again. Russ. You know, I'd never do that. Of course I know. Alright. The fact that you're okay is a huge load off my shoulders. Now I have something else to take care of. I promised Ratatas I'd finish another job after I save you. Job?
Madam's curious. Vice of the Silver Ash clan is moving to intercept us.
Right on schedule. I'll tell you the details later, but our job is to cause some trouble for the Silver Ash bastards. And there's someone else I want to talk to, but that comes later. Things aren't looking too good, and Vice won't go down easy. But we're in this together. Right, Yucatan? Of course. I'll be there for you as long as you need me.
Closing on them. Don't let Arctos up the mountain path. Sir, we're about to be completely encircled. I suppose this is as far as we could get just charging through. Please lay down your arms, Arctos. Child of Yek, I don't know what Enciotis offered you to make you so infatuated with him. The Yek family is prominent in Pale Lodge lands, yet you still chose to help Enciotis usurp Kjerag. Lay down my arms? Never. Arrest Arcas, but try to take him alive. Come at me, Silver Ash scum. Who's brave enough to face me? Huh? Aurora? Does that mean... Looks like I caught up to you. Doctor? Don't tell me Degenbrecher. Ah, Doctor, it's about damn time. Well, the snow delayed my things a bit. Kjerag snow is a challenge for outsiders like you. Now that the reinforcements are here, nothing can stop us. Isn't it a bit too early to celebrate, Arctos? Enciotis. Long time no see, Doctor. Long time no see indeed. Though, there's a lot I want to talk to you about. Now is not the time, unfortunately. Just you wait and see this. I'll break through your encirclement, rescue the Saintus, and prove to all of Kjerag that you're the real traitor. I'm looking forward to it. Warriors, what has been the House of Pale Roach's duty since the beginning of time? Defend Kjerag from foreign enemies and protect the peace of the land. Now Ensiotis seeks to work against the Saintess and use her as his tool. Can we, the House of Pale Roach, accept that? No, absolutely not. Reinforcements have arrived. Follow me up Mount Carlin and topple Ensiotis and rescue the Saintess. Topple Ensiotis, rescue the Saintess. Topple Ensiotis, rescue the Saintess. Topple Ensiotis, rescue the Saintess. Saintess, what are you doing?
I'm heading down the mountain.
Sir Ensiotis said,
Since when do I need Ensiotis' consent to do a thing?
Ding, 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 ding. An otherworldly bell sounds throughout the court. The next moment, everyone present is, except Encia, falls to the ground.
Wow, incredible. Kjar. Saintess, how did you know I was here? I can guess where a clever girl hides. I need to make a trip down the mountain, so please look after things here. Oh, are you leaving the hard work to me? There are even more troublesome things waiting for me. If that's the case, I suppose I can't object. In fact, during each Saintess' selection, I dressed up as a maid and secretly observed the girls being tested. You were the 6th one that year. I didn't have very high expectations for you at first, since the Saintesses have been more and more boring as of late. They may have been strong of body, but none of them were sufficiently strong of will, and all ended up puppets of the Elders. I sometimes wonder if this is because Kjerag is too closed off. They and the people of this country too stagnated. But you're different. You're very interesting, Anya. You didn't come here because you wanted to be the Saintess, but because of your anger and disappointment. You faced the unforgiving elements on the trail up the mountain. You refused to give up, even when your body had reached its limits. The thing on your mind was not becoming a Saintess, or becoming an envoy of Kjeragander. Rather, you were thinking about how best to serve the Kjerag people. You thought about how disappointed you were in your brother, how disgusted you were in the other 2 clans, and the rage you felt at becoming the Saintess. But the real surprise was your attitude towards Kjerag. Or more accurately, the surprise that your family brought me. Your brother gave me his answer sheet very early on, and you have been searching for your own answer this entire time. Over the years, you've endured the indifference with which the Saintess is treated in Divine Bear Court, while actively searching for a way to help the people. These things have become your nourishment, and now all that nourishment has transferred into your strength. You have not lost yourself amidst the turmoil, and you have made your choice. Congratulations, my child, my envoy, my friend, my sister. Forgive me for not being able to guide you. I have rashly branded this land with my mark, and still regret it to this day. But at least allow me to add some color to your journey.
Above the silent passageway, Kjar smiles and gently pats her hands together. Clap, clap. After which, everything changes. Just a scratch. Well, I'm not sure if Master Arctus wronged you in some way, but Ensiotis isn't exactly a saint himself.
I already told you. Kjerag needs change. This is Also, so that excellent warriors like yourself will no longer make sacrifices in vain.
Don't force my hand, Balais.
That's my line, Gulo.
The two of them take a step back and assume a solid stance. They know that today one of them must fall. What's that?
The dark cloud cleared. What a stubborn one. I underestimated you. But even if you manage to defeat us here, it won't make any difference. You cannot stop the master. Like I care. The matriarch Ratatos always had her own ideas about Kjerag. She also wants people to move forward and hopes that everyone can have a better future. Except she doesn't have the power. And so she became Ratatos, the schemer, as you people call her. Maybe to you, my sister is just a bump in the road. But to me, she'll always be my beloved sister. Yucatan. We won't hold any personal grudges against you as long as you're willing to lay down your arms. We guarantee your safety. I'm not going to let Russ and I become bargaining chips for Enciotis to use against the matriarch. Vice of the Silver Ash clan, step aside or I will kill you. The same goes for you, Yucatan of the Browntail clan. You must remain here. You can do it, Yucatan. Huh? Look, Mount Carlin. Are those dark clouds clearing up?
Sharp turns and watches Dagenbrecher slowly return her sword breakers to her waist. Around them, trees lie, snapped in twain, and rocks shattered as if a catastrophe swept through the land. He doesn't notice his knife slipping, because he has already lost feeling in his right hand. He has lost. Best not overuse your right hand for the next 3 months. Thanks for the tip. Looks like it's time to take a brief medical leave.
You don't seem very upset about it.
The outcome of our fight here doesn't change anything. I kept you occupied here until now, so I've done my job. The others will handle the rest. Now that my job is done, it's time to clock out.
Is your job that important to you?
Maintaining professionalism is very important to me. Finding a good employer isn't easy, so I do happen to care about this job. What about you? You knew from the beginning that I was here to waste your time. You don't look that upset about it.
Call it a bit of curiosity. Even if you manage to delay me here, what exactly can you accomplish?
Looks like Enciotis' bodyguards are good for doing more than just his dirty work. People only know that Enciotis bought the Black Knight. They don't know the Black Knight also approves of Enciotis. You and Enciotis are both prideful.
I'll remember your name, Sharp.
You don't have to remember my name, but you should do well to remember the doctors. What's going on in Mount Carlin? Soldiers, information. Yes, sir. All forces. Huh. What happened? Time seems to stand still in this moment. Only the Saintess's footsteps reverberate through the mountains. The wind and snow already gave way at some unknown time. The dark clouds overhead seem to part before her path, slowly spreading to both sides. The light filtering through the clouds shines upon the Saintess, and for a second the people see her descending from the sky itself. But this is no illusion. A miracle. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. In this moment, only one thought remains in the hearts of the warriors, and that is to offer their staunchest devotion to the Saintess.
Kjar, go and will attend to the Great Elder. Of course. Come to think of it, even though the Great Hall has been repaired several times, it may not be much younger than her. The time goes for the title of Great Elder. No one would deny that the existence of the Weinberg Court has allowed Kjerag to remain united all these years. But what was correct in the past may no longer be correct. If you cannot adapt to the changing times, then no matter how strong you are fated to be cast aside. Kjerag should not suffer that fate. At least that is what some people hope. Sweet dreams, Great Elder. You've done well. You've all done well. How?
What is that? Is that a miracle?
What's going on at Mount Carlin? All forces, pull back. What just happened? Could it be a miracle from Kjeragander? What will happen to Kjerag now? Hurts my eyes. You've got me wondering now, is this also part of your doctor's plans?
I don't know myself. To be honest, if this was a part of the doctor's plans, or even an anticipated possibility, even if some operators act like the doctor's omnipotent, I think this would be a bridge too far.
Anya, I'm scared. Don't be, Encia. I will protect you. I will protect... I will protect Kjerag.
All the warriors along the mountain trail layer their weapons down. In the face of a miracle from the goddess of the snowy mountains, the goddess they have worshipped all their lives, their mortal squabbles seem ridiculous. I, leader of the Pale Roach clan, Arctos Pale Roach, offer my most sincere blessings to her envoy, the Saintess. After a short silence, he slowly bows to the Saintess and kneels before her. All the Pale Roach warriors follow his lead, repeating his actions. Having second thoughts, Enciodas. What do you mean? You ignored my advice and brought the doctor to Kjerag. Do you think we lost? Does this not seem like a loss to you? It might have in the past, but today, maybe not. Enciodas steps forward. He strides out from the crowd and also approaches the Saintess, taking a knee and offering his blessings. All the warriors of the Silver Ash clan follow suit. And thus the Snow Cape incident comes to an unexpected conclusion. Alright, and let's end this with the epilogue cutscene. Title: Adjournment. Human lives are not chess pieces, ceaselessly locked in games over victory or defeat. You gave him an opportunity to accept this offer.
Thousands of years ago, Kjerag descended into this land, naming it Kjerag and bestowing upon it her eternal vigil. For thousands of years, her teachings have continued to pervade the lives of all of Kjerag's people. She gave her flesh to the Pale Roach clan, her hide to the Browntail clan, and her bones to the Silver Ash clan. But we all share a common name, the people of Kjerag. Our belief in her is the foundation of Kjerag, and is also the reason why we stand here today and call ourselves the children of Kjerag. We all harbor the greatest respect for her in our hearts and work together to survive in this land to this day. However, as we all know now, Kjerag is not the only country in this world. Beyond these snow-capped mountains lies a vast world filled with people who do not look like us, do not speak like us, and do not share our beliefs of Kjeragander. In the past, we've had terrible disagreements over how to deal with such people. In reality, these disagreements are not an existential crisis. Rather, they are her way of testing us, her way of guiding us. She is the object of faith for all the people of Kjerag, our mother, our guardian, and as a mother she never wishes to see her children stagnate. Therefore, do not let your desire to preserve the old prevent you from trying the new. You are her children and you should be full of courage. Do not let your nostalgia for your homeland prevent you from exploring new places. No matter where you go, she will walk with you. Do not let what you already possess prevent you from seeking greater ventures, for you have the right to more in life. After all, she is tolerant. The land she protects should be tolerant, and her people should also be tolerant. By the authority she has vested in me, I solemnly declare, the Vine Bear Court will tolerate the beliefs of outsiders towards Kjeragander. Furthermore, the Vine Bear Court encourages all citizens to pursue a better life in their own ways.
In the commemoration of the Saintess of Mount Carlan, the Illuminated One, known as the Blessed Anya Silver Ash, and the resounding speech she delivered to the people of Kjerag. This day is officially designated a national religious day throughout the land. Chess pieces shift on the board. The incident in the valley began as just an idle move. I needed someone to distract the Pale Roach clan so I could dispatch supplies and personnel in secret. If not you, it could have been anyone else. I planned on apologizing to you after all was said and done. But now I should probably apologize for underestimating the impact you would have. Ensiodas speaks to himself while moving a chess piece. Chess piece shifts on the board. Gnosis is my good friend as well as my collaborator. He and I do not necessarily see eye to eye. He has his own ideas and methods. But I understand him. As long as we share the same purpose, he will not betray me, nor do I need to exchange any information with him while executing a plan. I could sit back and let him employ all his resources in whatever way he deemed efficacious to stymieing the power of the Browntail clan. Destroying the railroad tracks was just a clever trick, Hypnosis gained Rathatos' trust and also blocked access to spies and messengers from other countries. Inciodus looks you in the eye and makes another move. Chess piece shifts on the board. It's a draw. As if foreshadowing the end result, Inciodus takes his hands off the pieces and spreads them out. It means this round is over. It would appear that my luck has been quite rotten lately. I can't even win a chess anymore. But you didn't lose. Sometimes a draw is a great victory, and other times a draw is a crushing defeat. In your case, which one is it? In my case, anything other than a great victory is a crushing defeat. But this time is indeed an exception. Without a doubt, I have won. But what I didn't expect was that you opened up another possibility for my victory. I just wanted to prevent the loss of life. You certainly achieved this objective. You sought out Arctos and Rathatos, made battle predictions for them preemptively, and provided a better plan to avoid war. This very much fits your way of doing things, Doctor. Even I could not predict that this situation could be resolved in such a peaceful manner. Surely you understand why I was so eager to unite Kjerag under one banner. External concerns. That's right. I don't particularly hate the Winebear Court, nor am I in any rush to eradicate religion from these lands. Nor am I in particular dissatisfied with Arctos' insularity or Rathatos' hesitation. They don't know the things that happen outside, and thus will not hold the same views as me. If I had enough time, I wouldn't mind spending 5 or 10 years, or even longer, changing their minds and changing Kjerag in a gentler way. But Kjerag doesn't have enough time. Even if we cannot be considered rich, there are bound to be neighboring countries eyeing this land undisturbed by catastrophes. I must push us forward, and if there are people who cannot accept that, then I can only deprive them of their right to object. That is all. You don't need to convince me. I am simply sharing some of my thoughts with people worthy of hearing them. As far as I know, Arctos will announce his responsibility for poisoning the Great Elder and resign as head of the clan. As for why he decided to make this show of grace, he decided to make an oath with the Saintess so that she would take control of the Pale Rouge lands. Perhaps to cement the Saintess' status. The Browntail clan has signed an agreement of subordination to the Silver Ash clan. I can share some extra details with you. I have no desire to take over the Browntail clan. Should Rathatos desire, her power would not be any less than it was in the past. There are no longer any left who desire stagnation, who refuse to budge, or would fret over cost and benefits. None stand in the way of Carlin trade and Kjerag's development. This is an outcome I can accept, Doctor. You and the Saintess aren't so different. But we ended up walking separate paths. And this is the result of my past choices. I will take responsibility for it. She too must bear the consequences of her choices, and lift the people of Kjerag out of this stagnation with her guidance, not my instigation. You proved yourself to me and to Kjerag, but you also proved Anya. Mr. President, it's almost time for the meeting. Of course. Regardless, Kjerag is about to undergo massive changes, Doctor. Next time, it may be difficult for me to meet you, but I can assure you that Rhode Island is free to come and go anywhere in Kjerag. Additionally, please accept this token of my goodwill and compensation for involving you and your operators in this incident. Neither Rhode Island's name nor yours will appear in any future official records related to this event. Also, a new contract that will allow us to call each other allies is on its way to Rhode Island. After this is all over, I will visit Rhode Island again. And when the time comes, I hope to play another game of chess with you, Doctor.
Kjar. You've got some guts, you know? How long have you been keeping me in the dark? Do forgive me, Saintess, for I do not know how I sinned. Oh, so be it then. But, Kjar, I do have something I want to ask you. Yes, Saintess. I want to know, was it her intention for me to become the leader of Kjerag? Was all of this her plan? Me feeling lost and confused throughout this entire chain of events, and then my determination when making that final choice. Did she expect all of that?
Kjar understands why Anya suddenly asks that question now, of all times. She is afraid. She is not afraid that she made the wrong decision, but she is afraid that everything, as far as her eye can see, is just a game played by gods.
There is but one thing I can assure you. She has never once sought to interfere with your free will. Your thoughts have always been your own. Who is to say whether her miracles are nothing more than the wishes of her fabrications of her faithful? Perhaps she gave everything so that the people of wind and snow will have a pristine land to call home. She looks out over this land, searching for ways to bless the people who live here with happiness. As for the answer you gave, she acknowledges it, nothing more. If that's true, then can you do me a favor? Name the favor. Please, ask her not to take you away. Oh? Isn't that what always happens in the stories? Though I found myself... If it comes at the cost of losing you, I will not ask favors of hers willy-nilly, so would you continue to be my mate? Sorry. I didn't expect you to make such a cute request. But let's do this according to chapter 3 of the scriptures. If one day you no longer uphold the ideals you currently do, then I will no longer stay by your side. But until then, I swear to serve you as your headmate. No taking that back, okay? Okay.
You want me to be your representative at Rhode Island? That is right. You can devote yourself to your research at Rhode Island. I trust it'll be to your liking. Did you already have that in mind when you invited them? Just another possibility. After all, regardless of whether or not our plans succeed, your situation in Kjerag is only going to get worse. You just didn't expect that the person you were trying to win over the most would almost sabotage your plan. That takes nothing from our victory. Though if you want to stay in Kjerag, I can also arrange that for you. Well, whatever. I don't mind the infamy, but I'd get annoyed if people kept coming by to throw rocks at my lab's windows. Also, I'd like to meet this doctor for myself. Oh, are you interested?
As if I simply want to see whether your doctor, who has already left a mark on this land, will end up becoming our enemy.
And if not,
then I'll also like to know what level of technical prowess a company that has succeeded in suppressing Ripify possesses.
Gnosis, that gleeful hunger of you on your face looks about as bad as what you accused me of.
Gnosis, your luggage has been prepared. It's time to go.
Of course. Shall we leave now, then? Just a moment. Monk! Nobody responds to Gnosis' call. Monk? With that plain room, everything stands in order, except the girl who always spoke with a hint of gloominess has disappeared. He immediately spots a dagger sitting on the table in the middle of the room. He gave the dagger to Monk. He remains silent for a spell, then picks up the dagger and walks out the door. The sun is shining outside.
Hey, Doctor, look! They've already started selling Saint-themed goods here.
My, if it isn't Lady Encia. Welcome back to my humble shop.
You sure know how to keep up with the times. When I came back to Kjerag, you were still selling Vinebear Court merch. Now you've switched to selling stuff with the Saints on it.
I'm not the only one. Plenty of folks all over the streets. We're even being encouraged to do business now. Now that you mention it, those things I was hawking before, I didn't actually believe in them. But when I make goods for the Saints, I have real faith in what I'm doing. When we first heard about the transfer of power, us business folks were worried about what was going to happen. But I never imagined that the Saints would be so open-minded. Now, even the most stubborn of folk have nothing to say against dealings with foreigners. Also, I heard that Sir Enciotis plans to meet with the Saints for discussion to fully open Browntail and Pale Ridge territory to the outside world. If you ask me, I'm looking forward to seeing this new day more and more. Oh. Oh, that went the wrong way.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
You certainly ought to be. Take a look around you. Of all these people walking the street, who isn't smiling these days? Even though all that craziness happened during the ceremony, Lucentis was able to mediate the situation among the three clans. And that resulted in something most people could agree with. You know, I have to thank the Saints and Sir Enciotis for all this. Oh right, were you planning on leaving Kjerag in that group, in that getup of yours?
Yep, my vacation's coming to an end, so it's time for me to head back to continue my treatment and work.
In that case, take whatever you want. It's on me. Treated like my parting gift for you.
Well...
No need to be polite, you've earned it.
Alright, I'll take you up on it then. I want this portrait of my sister, this embroidery, and that sculpture. Hey, that picture.
A painting hanging on the wall catches Encia's attention. It's of her sister Anya and her brother Enciotis standing at a negotiation table and shaking hands, seemingly reaching some sort of agreement. For a moment, she pauses. Ah, this painting depicts Sir Enciotis and the Saints reaching an agreement on Kjerag's future. Though I don't know if this scene actually happened, there is no doubt that those two are the ones governing Kjerag now, and everyone knows they're siblings. Surely, they must get along very well. Tell me, do they really?
Yep. Let's see if there's anything else. Doctor, is there anything you want?
I'd like some souvenirs too.
You got it.
Lady Encia, I did say you could have anything you wanted for free, but please try to have some mercy. Doctor, though the two of us serve as Enciodus' retainers, we are also employees of Rhode Island.
We would like to apologize to you for all sorts of things.
Courier and I will not shamelessly ask you for forgiveness. We only hope that we will be allowed to come to Rhode Island to visit Lady Encia in the future. What do you think, Doctor? You are in a difficult situation, I understand. The situation is indeed excusable, which I'll note in the report. As for how the bosses will respond, that I cannot say.
Thank you, Doctor and Captain Sharp.
Thanks again.
Doctor, I've already said goodbye to my folks. I'm ready to go now.
Got all of your stuff?
Instructor Doberman. The Saintess became the de facto leader of Kjerag, and Enciodus gained the power to leverage the majority of Kjerag's resources. Doctor, you ought to take my advice. I didn't hear your name mentioned by anyone else, fortunately. By the looks of things, you people managed to not get involved this time, at least. By the looks of things, not only did you get yourself involved, you got heavily involved. I look forward to reading your reports. Alright, if there's anything you have to say, save it for once you've found the road. Get in the car, we're heading back to Rhode Island. Doctor, do you remember that painting we saw in the store back there?
You mean the one with the handshake?
Right then and there, I really wanted to buy that painting. But after thinking about it some more, I decided not to. I mean, I know that never happened. My brother just decided to let my sister have a move. That's all there was to it.
Sorry.
It's not your fault, Doctor. Without you, the tension between those two would have only gotten more vicious. But at least this helped me sort out one thing out. And that is, regardless of which one of them made the decision, it came as a result of their beliefs. You were just a catalyst in driving things forward. Just like how nobody would try to convince me to give up mountain climbing. Beliefs can't be so easily changed.
They wouldn't be called beliefs if they could.
Right. But I have another belief that won't be easily changed. One day I'm going to make sure my brother and sister get along again, like they used to.
Anya and Enciodus. Perhaps the perils that Kjerag faces have only just begun. And there we go. That would be the end of the story. Man, I really liked this story. From the get-go, just having a feeling that Silver Ash definitely was planning something in the background, and you can just tell the shit is gonna go a certain way. And then the flashbacks to all the way back from the very moment they were still, him and Gnosis were still kids, and they decided on what the future should be like. Very good. But most importantly, the most important part about this story is, holy shit. How long did we have all 3 Silver Ashes in the game as units? I know files of the operators usually tell like a short little, this is the reason why they are at Rhode Island at this moment. But when is that moment? The files don't really tell us a year. The closest to years that they tell us is how many goddamn years combat experience they have. If at all. But yeah, my god, for some of these... Actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but all 3 of them were with the game, I believe, from the very, very beginning. And now, including with the operator records, that all 3 came with in this patch, including Matterhorn, we finally have all the background story when we meet them, and the whole picture of how and why they decided to come to Rhode Island. Finally. Jesus. Why did it take so long? My god. There are so many operators in this game that just appear at Rhode Island and you're like, huh, who are you and why are you here and where did you come from and when? But yeah, overall story I liked a lot. There was so much cool shit happening. They really juiced up the amount of text in this side story. I was not expecting it to be this densely packed with stuff happening and all the scheming and bullshit in the background. Also, if anybody after hearing the words Kjeragandr, the land being called Kjerag, and then a certain person being called Kjar, was not being like, you, you are the one. My god, the obvious character, right? But still love it. I love her coloring and how she is just for the most time just like observing stuff and is just going along with people and trekking along with the doctor and just having a casual chat because she is interested in what the hell this person is. Just amazing. Love it. But yeah, the biggest literal sign of this is literally the goddess everybody keeps talking about is literally her coloration. Like, okay, color of lips you can just put down to lipstick, but those strong blue eyes and the coloring blue in the hair. I know it doesn't get mentioned during this story, except in one single place, gets really quickly glanced over, but if you want to see more of it and why the color blue makes so much sense on Kjar, go and you have it on my channel, or just read it in game, whatever. Open and see if you can Cliff Hart's operator record. You will learn a bit more about the coloration of blue and stuff from there. That one was kind of interesting, mostly because of that and what the hell that blue mineral that gets mentioned there is. But yeah, in other places, seeing seeing Anya, aka Prominix, develop as a character during this story, amazing, loved it. Going from someone who feels very laid back and doesn't feel like is very insecure, as she puts it, and doesn't know if she should do something and if she should do something or shouldn't do something, and then finally at the final moment when seeing her sister finally having that clear moment in her head, deciding of, okay, I need to do this shit. I need step up and do this shit. Otherwise it's gonna be a bad day for everybody. She had a lot of character exposition during this, and I love it. And the same could be said for both Cliffheart, who had a lot of very well. The most development for her, I guess, for this story is just getting to know how much she cares about her siblings and her family in general. There's a bit more that shows her character, but it's essentially the same as here in the story in her operator record, being she's ready to put herself on the line to just either serve her family or others that she cares about. But very, very heartfelt character. I really like her. And as for Enciotas, oh my god, Silver Ash. Jesus Christ, this guy is literally Moriarty. Moriarty, but without being as batshit insane. My god, this whole story is literally just he set up the chessboard since he was a young boy for this day to come. And then the doctor comes in and sits down on the other end and starts playing against him. Which I love the symbolism here at the end in this epilogue scene where it's literally just the doctor and him playing chess. I love that scene. Which, by the way, you've probably seen that it's the thumbnail for this, and I had to pick it because they didn't want to spoil the big scene on the mountaintop. And my god, that scene was so good. I wish the picture was a bit bigger. Or rather, more how should I say it? More, would show more of the scenery, but it's pretty good. Very good. Also, my god. I wonder now... I know that the game has rules for why some why some people become operators, why some don't. But Sharp has very basic character look to him. I mean, it's kind of literally, or very similar to how Ace's body shape was. It's just a different head for the most part. But yeah, it's interesting. Usually the game operates on if the person already works for Rhode Island, recruitable. If the person signed a contract to work on missions for Rhode Island, recruitable. If the person is not someone who is preoccupied in other areas and cannot accept missions even though they signed some kind of collaboration contract with Rhode Island, is not recruitable. And most importantly, even if they sign a contract with Rhode Island, but they literally die during that story or whatever, they are not recruitable. So, what's the deal with Sharp? I am slightly terrified for this man's future? Please don't let Sharp die. I don't want him to become a second Ace. This guy is fucking amazing. What else? I mean, Gnosis was pretty much... I mean, you can tell from literally a couple of voice lines of his when you recruit him that this is... You can tell what kind of character he is. This is a scientist. This is a mad scientist without the actual lunatic mad on the outside. That guy just wants research, and that's it. He pretty much just collaborates with everything just to get shit out of the way, just so he can go back to working. But good, I do like him. I wonder if he's gonna appear somewhere in the future. Considering the story is taking place after leaving Casimir's and heading for Victoria. So, who knows? Maybe he makes an appearance somewhere at some point? Who the hell knows? And then Monk. I don't know. I wonder what that last scene meant. I really am not sure. She left the dagger means that she went away? But does it mean that she went away to take her life? Or went away to go back to... I hope she went back to her to her what's her face, to Sciurius, to the Brown Tails again, because that woman was very attached to her, and would be very sad if Monk died or went to take her life for some reason right now. Hope not. But yeah, the other two clans, what can I say about them? Pale Roaches, I mean, what can I say a bit about the big brown bear? What can I say about Arctos? Besides that, his fucking name reminds me of Pokemon. Big dude, very simple-minded, is not stupid, and just get the job done, I guess. But he could use a couple more brain cells, but who the hell knows? But a very upstanding person, and like Silver Ash said there at the end, a very nice gesture that he did, where he took up the full blame for, even though he had no idea it will happen, for the poisoning of the Great Elder. And as for the Brown Tails, I did like the dynamic between the two sisters, and the little flashbacks we had for them when they were kids. Even though they keep being annoyed and pissed off at each other, or rather, one of them is being annoyed and pissed off at one for the most time. I like the dynamic between the two. What else? The final note I can say was finally very nice to see this region of the world. Always nice to see a new region. And yeah, I guess the last thing I can say is, considering this is now done, the next project, well, first off, because this was such a long story and took so much to narrate and shit, I know I skipped out the last weekend on doing a narration for the main story of the game, which I will continue this weekend, and I think the next part is gonna be just a one huge part again, but we'll see about that. And as for the next side story and narration, it's gonna be, well, as we have been shown, we have a rerun of Who is Real, so I will pick that one up, and I hope my memory is not wrong on it, but I think that one was not that long, and thank fuck. There are way less characters. I will, however, have to at least look up a bit how Older Cruz sounds, considering Older Cruz well, slightly mellowed out Cruz is, or slightly more serious Cruz, let's put it that way, is in that story, and I won't be able to, well, I should rather be happy I won't have to do a stupid Cruz voice. Oh my god. I don't want to even imagine an entire side story where I have to do a stupid Cruz voice. Oh no, please don't make me do that. But yeah, that's gonna be the next narration on this channel. Probably first episode is gonna go up Saturday morning, Central European time, I hope. And then the main story should be like Sunday to Monday. And I haven't looked up, but I will see if there are any operator records added over with the new patch. Obviously, those are going to be posted. I'm a bit more free now, so I'm also gonna see about if there are any modules that I can open up. I think I'm close to opening up bagpipes, so that should be soon at some point. I just need to level her up. And yeah, I think this is all I... Oh, whoa. Not the button I wanted to press. But yeah, I think this is as much as I can bring my thoughts around all of this. But yeah, anyway, I hope everybody had fun. I sure as hell did, even though my voice was gone multiple times, considering how long some of these parts were. Holy shit, this one is already 2 hours, over 2 hours long. Pfft. This is gonna take another full day until YouTube decides to be like, HD rendering. I can finish that. But yeah, anyway. Again, thank you all for listening. I appreciate it a lot. And this has been Jacob with the narration for the Break the Ice story in Arknights. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.